Good morning everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I want to share a weekly plan with me video using the weekly and daily pages in my Hobonichi Cousin and also show you some behind the scenes footage of my work related things this past week. I want to keep this video very calm and relaxing, so I hope you can sit down with a drink and enjoy following along. It was around 7:30 on Monday when I started to film this video, which was pretty early for me. I had already finished my morning yoga, made some green tea, and I started my planning session by preparing my workout tracker for February and also calculating the total minutes from January because I hadn't done that yet. I thought I'd use the corresponding monthly brush pen colors to draw these lines, which is why you can see that it's different from January, but otherwise I'm gonna keep the tracker exactly the same because I felt like this worked for me very well last month. I did 15 minutes of regular stretchy yoga today and 15 minutes of more hard power yoga, so I listed both of those here. But then we can flip over to the weekly section and start setting up the first full week in February. I wanted to keep this spread pretty blue toned, so I'm probably not going to add much of the orange or yellowy colors on this spread that I otherwise used in this theme. And I decided to start by lining the top of the week with this floral Ikigai Papir washi tape and adding this blue night sky paper pattern to the corners, which is from my own shop. I've really liked using this left column to first list a few important things I need to focus on during this week. Then I've drawn my simple sleep tracker. And lastly, I want to write down what I'm currently reading and knitting. I used my own label stickers here for the title backgrounds. These are not in the shop yet, but I'll release them together with the spring items around mid-March. I also use this very light gray brush pen to draw a line at around 12 and 6 p.m, which are usually the times we eat lunch and dinner. For me, this just adds a bit of visual structure to the days and makes it easier for me to divide my daily tasks. I've been using these weekly pages by listing a pretty overall plan for the week ahead, and I usually plan a few days at a time. I've also been using these emoji stickers and the tiny icon stickers by the Coffee Monsters Co., which I think add a very cute look to these weekly pages. So on Monday, I had a pretty content-heavy day. I started filming this video and I also filmed an extra doodle reel that you might have already seen on Thursday probably. And then I edited and scheduled a bunch of pictures and reels for Instagram, both for my journaling and shop accounts. And then I had to continue my spring designs, which was the most important thing I had to get done this week. This was my last week to get all the spring collection designs done that I will outsource to a manufacturer, and fingers crossed they will arrive on time for a mid-March release. If you're wondering, I don't write every single thing down on these weekly pages. For example, pretty much every day after eating lunch, I take a nap and then drink my first cup of coffee of the day to get enough energy to continue working for the rest of the day. If I don't take a nap, I fall asleep on my desk at around 2 or 3 p.m. So this is just something that really works for me. So yeah, stuff like this I don't usually write down. I usually go to the post office twice a week, and this week I decided to do that on Tuesday and Friday. Sometimes I go on Monday and Thursday instead, but this week I felt like I had a lot of catching up to do on Monday, so I decided to dedicate the whole day to all these small tasks. I'm not super precise with the time grid on these weekly pages, especially if I don't have room to write everything I need on a certain spot, but I do still follow it as much as possible. So on Tuesday, pretty much my whole morning and afternoon will be spent packing orders. I usually also need to restock some products that I run out, and I need to make all the Japan Post shipping labels as well. And then I think every night this week I will spend at least a few hours making the spring designs, because I really don't want to stay up all Sunday night frantically trying to finish everything, but I have a feeling that it might still happen. I think Wednesday and Thursday will pretty much just be designing days, but I didn't want to write anything down just yet. So instead I wrote my video posting day, which is on Saturday. And I also like to edit my videos on Saturdays because it's kind of a mindless task, doesn't require much effort, so perfect for the weekends. Usually I try to have one free day per week, but sometimes it just doesn't happen, and I think this will be one of those weeks because of all the designs that I needed to get done. But I still always like to spend a very lazy morning on Saturdays and Sundays, so I wrote that down, and hopefully I don't need to wake up early to work. I also added a few stickers here and there if there's a longer empty gap. But otherwise, I think this is all I'm gonna do on Monday. And now let's flip over to the daily pages where I'll write down more detailed task list for the day and also do some morning journaling. I was using a little bit different colors here on the daily pages, and after writing my task list, I almost wrote down a daily journaling prompt, but then I realized that it was already 9 a.m. and I really needed to get started with my work, so I just added a washi tape strip and a sticker to hide the number and just wrote some quick morning thoughts here instead. But I think that's all for the first journaling session on Monday. This was probably the longest one because I needed to set up the whole week, and now it was time to get some work done. On Tuesday, I just quickly filled a few things in my workout tracker and the weekly spread, and you might notice that I'm using my Pigma Micron whenever I want to be fast, because you do need to let the fountain pen ink dry a bit before you can move to the next page. I don't mind waiting a bit after writing on the daily pages, but if I just want to cross off a to-do list item or fill the workout tracker, it feels a bit pointless to waste time letting the ink dry. Anyway, on Tuesday, I had my order packing day, and honestly, Tuesday was one of those days for me that I didn't sleep very well and I woke up feeling very out of it. Later at night, I also started to get some common cold symptoms. Luckily, not fever, just headache, runny nose, and stuff like that, which then kind of explained why I was feeling so down the whole day. But yeah, I felt very tired and slow for the morning, and I also ended up hyper fixating on cat water fountains. So, if you're wondering what I'm writing about here, I was so mad at myself because I wasted, I'd say, at least 1 or 2 hours in the morning just reading or watching videos and reviews about cat water fountains when I was supposed to start working. This happens to me especially when I'm stressed. It's probably some, I don't know, unconscious attempt to escape from my responsibilities. But yeah, I also haven't been able to fully restock my shop products for a few weeks because I've used any extra time I've had designing the new collection. I also got more orders in January than I was prepared for, which is of course a very good thing and I'm so grateful, but it does cause a little bit of stress and panic at the same time. It's, the ups and downs of being a one-woman show. So because of that, my packing process has been quite slow recently because I need to constantly stop and cut some stickers or trim papers that I ran out of. And on this day, I also needed to fold a bunch of boxes. So all in all, I couldn't pack all the orders I had pending, which is why I had to move my task list around a bit. I really tried to ship orders as fast as possible and I don't want you to need to wait for more than 4 days. So because I couldn't pack everything, there were a few orders left from Sunday, which is why I decided to move my Friday packing and post day to Thursday. And then on Friday, I will have a full designing day instead. I don't really mind when I need to move things around like this in my calendar because I know it will inevitably happen. And even though I really like my calendar to look pretty, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that it's functional. So if something needs to be moved around, so be it. And I try not to have any unnecessary stress about it. On Wednesday, I still felt a little bit sick, so I decided to take it easy. I skipped my morning workout and slept a little bit longer, which felt really good. And luckily, I could have a very cozy day just sitting in front of my computer with a warm drink and continue designing this spring collection. I couldn't really show you much of the spring designs because I don't want to spoil the whole collection yet, but I tried to film some small sneak peeks from the items that are coming. I didn't film anything on Thursday or Friday, so the next time I sat down to film was on Saturday morning when I finished filming this video. On Saturday, I had a pretty busy day ahead again. First, I wanted to finish this video and edit the whole thing, and then I desperately needed to continue my designing stuff. I was really struggling with some of the designs and wasted a bit of time on Friday night just trying to make a washi tape design work, and then in the end I felt like deleting the whole thing and doing something completely different. But anyway, there wasn't much to do on the weekly spread anymore, so this is pretty much how I'm planning to leave it. And then you can see that I filled the Thursday and Friday daily pages as usual. I found this old washi tape, which is from my summer 2023 collection that matched the colors perfectly, so I kind of swatched it here and used it on the pages. And otherwise just wrote about my days as usual. And then for Saturday, I wrote down my daily task list and a few things that were on my mind. And then I glued down this notepad page where I wrote busy day, no time to write, because I wanted to move on with all my other tasks. So I think that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching, and I'm really interested to hear what you thought about this video format in general. If you like this, I could try my best to film a video like this every month moving forward, or at least every month when I'm not super busy. This week was mainly about designing, so I didn't really do much else, but that's basically how my life is. There's not that much happening outside of my work, which I don't mind at all, but it's maybe not the most entertaining for videos like this. Anyway, if this was your first time around here and you'd like to stay tuned for more, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye!